What's going on to you, Scorpios? So you Scorpios have the Tower, Scorpio, Six of Wands, and then you have the Nine of Swords. This is for your yearly 2026 overview. So the Tower is Six of Wands and the Nine of Swords. You Scorpios are allowing all of the things that are fictitious in your life, fake people, to basically just let themselves go away from you and let them be what it is. Let them go find other people to hang out with and kick it with and do this and do that with and all of that other type of stuff with, right? Let them do all of that themselves. And the situations for you Scorpios is that and you will be better off because of it. Because what you Scorpios have got going on is you just got a bunch of fake people. A lot of you Scorpios are learning how to let people that are not very good matches for you go, because what sense would it make holding on to those people? And then you have the Tower card, which is Scorpio. So you did show up in your own yearly overview as the first card. So one of the first things, one of the first principles that a lot of you Scorpios are even going to be rocking with in on itself is letting all the things you're not trying to hold on to anyone or to anything too tightly. If it don't work, it doesn't work out. You're not trying to make a connection work or something, whether it's a connection or whatever kind of situation, connection, work, something happen that doesn't come closer to you, meaning that something that it doesn't make sense for you to continue to do it because it's not feasible for you, right? It's not even something where it's like you Scorpios can basically actually achieve it, but it's right there. As long as you need to, it's there. You just have to work at it, right? And so the situation with that is that towards the middle of the year, you have the Six of Cups and the Knight of Pentacles. You're going to have a lot of people interested in reaching out to you Scorpios again and again and again, because again, it's that feeling of they're missing what it is that they have become accustomed to. But not only that, it's also the fact that they know that they messed up because they wasted your time, and you Scorpios want nothing to do with them. So, technically speaking, your number hasn't necessarily changed, but you Scorpios don't want to speak to these people no matter how long it's been, because you don't like them. You don't rock with them. You don't want anything to do with them, and they have to be okay with it. And so the situation with that is that now the Knight of Pentacles is about how, because again, things are going quite well for you. The Knight of Pentacles, whenever it is, like, regardless of whether it's the Knight of Pentacles in the regular, Edward Arthur, or is it Arthur Edward Waite Tarot, whether it's this, whether it's the Dragon Tarot, the Knight of Pentacles, right? The Knight of Pentacles really is a very good card to have because it represents you being on the up and up. Earth represents the North, and it represents the kind of the authority figure that reside over the other three elements: water, fire, air. Earth is the authority figure. When a person wants to do witchcraft, they always cast the earth as the North, because depending on whatever direction they cast the other elements in, it could depend on what kind of magical system that you use. So people who are, Satanists, they cast it, air as east. They casted air as east, fire as south, water as west, and then north as earth, of course. But for me, my casting, which is the correct casting to not hex yourself, is west is air, and that's the correct casting, by the way. West is air, east is fire, water is south, and earth is north. That's the correct casting, because water is always on the ground. Yeah, it's in the clouds too, but earth is also earth. You have true north, which is the magnetic pole of the planet, and that's designated by land. So that's earth. So that is the correct um, incantation. But the point that I'm trying to make here with that is you Scorpios are doing quite well. And so this is why the Six of Cups, this is why these people came back in the first place. Everybody loves winners. And, you know, you're doing great. And so that kind of doing great and being in a good mood throughout the year, that brings people to gravitate to you because they like that. They like a person who is happy. Three of Swords and the Ten of Cups here for you, Scorpios. The Three of Swords also represents how you Scorpios are in a place where what you Scorpios got going on is the Three of Swords is really like the Three of Swords is really like the Three of Swords and the Ten of Cups is really about letting go of of a lot of people that you may see as familiar faces, but they don't know you. And so it's that letting go more of the kind of like the more so, how do I explain this? Letting go, you Scorpios are more so letting go of more of your connection with trying to be of the world, right? Be in the world, but do not be of the world. And you Scorpios are learning how to be in it, but not be of the world. Yes, you can be in, I mean, you're alive, right? Yes, you can be in it, eat, sleep, drink your water, go to work, hang out, do this, but don't be so in it. Don't be so of it to the point where you want to become right hand path, where you want to become this socialite just to be always on the scene. No, a lot of you Scorpios are learning to actually let that go. And that's what the Three of Swords represents. It represents separation. It represents the separating of yourselves from the worldly secular things. And so the Ten of Cups now represents, again, howling at the moon, right? It represents this difference that you Scorpios have by the middle of the year. You Scorpios have gone through a dramatic, powerful change, not just outside, but internally as well. And so then you also have the Four of Wands. You would rather be in your house a lot more. You Scorpios would rather be much more private. Not saying that you Scorpios aren't private, but what I am saying is that you Scorpios don't want to be outside like that unless you have to be. So unless you're going to go outside, like, unless you're, because what I mean by that is you have people who are so like afraid to be in the house. They just outside and they don't even have any kind of real business why they're outside, right? Um, they just outside. And so the point that I'm trying to make here with that is you don't want to go outside in the sense that you don't have any business outside. You just outside. You just don't know why you're outside. You just outside, right? Like people who go outside, who plan on listening to the birds and just kind of communing with nature, they have a purpose to be outside. You know, they going outside because they want some fresh air, but they really just cooling off for a little bit and just paying attention to their surroundings. But that's their business to be outside. They're gonna go back in the house after this that they're done communing with nature. They just probably relax in about an hour, 30 minutes to an hour, maybe even 1.5 hours or 90 minutes or 2 hours, right? And eventually they're gonna go back into the house. Happens to just be their reason to be outside the house. But then you have some people who are just outside the house because they don't want to be in the house by themselves. But they don't want to admit that. And so the situation with them is, is that that's not who you Scorpios are. Four of Wands, right? Seeking shelter in the house. So this piggybacks off of what it is I was saying about how it's the privatization of yourself, being in the world, and yes, existing and doing your thing. Of course, you're alive, you exist, but also the privatization, meaning that the privatization of yourself, meaning that just because you're in the world and you do these things does not mean you're going to be friends with everybody, right? I've talked about this myself. I'm a lone wolf. The things I talk about, the things that I talk about, more science, people don't want to hear that. A lot of people don't want to hear that. A lot of people are afraid to hear about more science. A lot of people are afraid to hear about that type of stuff. right? I told this goofball as early as or as late as August. He asked me about the more science thing. One of my homies didn't give him a call back. I said, okay, so go ahead and check out some more Science Temple of America. That's you know what I'm saying? That's up here in which you can get down with. He said, oh, okay, cool. I have the messages. I have the messages, right? I even left it to him in a voicemail, right? On WhatsApp. He said, okay, cool. This morning he contacted me. Yo, the dude hasn't hit me up. I'm like, bro, what did I tell you? I told you in August, because we went through this. I told you in August when you told me the first time that he wasn't contacting you. I said, dude, go. And what did I say? For all my Scorpios, I know y'all are listening. And he wasn't necessarily a Scorpio, but I'm just saying, I know you Scorpios are smart, so y'all are listening. I told him as late as August or as early as August to go look for more Science Temple to get himself connected with, so he doesn't have to wait on my homie. He didn't listen. So it's these types of scenarios that I'm saying that separates me from the world. You have separated yourself from that in that sense. And you Scorpios are going to see how it is that you separated yourself. You're not the same anymore, no matter how much you may try. And so the Queen of Pentacles, I can't show you the whole card, but the Queen of Pentacles and the Knight of Wands here represents how, and so it's about you and what you Scorpios want to do and how you want to live your life. And this is about making sure that you Scorpios are good by the end of the year. By the end of the year, I mean, just as great as things would be as great as it was, or even greater by the end of 2026. It's just that you Scorpios will just be more focused on yourself, and not only more focused on yourself, but you'll understand why. Because some of you Scorpios may not understand why, but part of the reason why you don't understand why is because you haven't had enough experience yet. People's questions whom you've already answered, and it completely goes over their head, no matter how small or the most common denominator you've basically busted down to and you've spoken about, that type of stuff will frustrate you. I know it frustrates me to know that people don't listen to anything that I'm saying sometimes, because people will ask me a question and I'll answer them. And I won't even make it complicated just so it can go over their head, because I don't do that. They ask me the question, I'll answer them and make it simple. I'll make it plain. What happened? Can you tell me what it is that you told me 6 months ago? You didn't listen, did you? No. And then when I told this goofball that, to use an example, when I said this, he was like, I'm sorry to bother you. And it's like, you goofy. You goofy. You stupid, dude. Because you so stupid, you still not making it about the point of what it is that I said. I just asked your goofy behind, what did I tell you? That lets me know one of two things, which is weird. That lets me know it basically went over your head, which means you're a dunce, or this is your version of getting attention, which is suspect. Which one is it, goofy? You understand what I'm saying? So I'm in the world, not a part of it. I'm not of the world. I'm in it, but I'm not of it. The goofy stuff that people talk about, people don't want real power. They want someone to give them real power on a silver platter. And you can tell people don't listen. People's comprehensional skills is all off. People don't know the difference between a concrete and an abstraction. People don't know their vowels, right? They vowels. People don't know their consonants. Their consonants. People don't know their continents. People don't know states. You understand what I'm saying? People don't know anything about City Hall. Nothing. Just nothing. People don't read. You tell these people to do their own research. They afraid to do their own research. And it's like, listen, I'm not finna hold your hand. You either do your own research or you get nothing. Pick. And then they be wondering why it is, my dear Scorpios, that things for them, they're not successful because they don't work for the success that they want. They just complain and bellyache about it. So let's clarify the Queen of Pentacles. Can you tell me the same stuff? How come homie didn't contact me? You mean what I told you to do from 3 months ago? Nah, I'm sorry to bother you. You have the Six of Wands, Ten of Cups, Ten of Swords, Knight of Cups, and then you have the Five of Cups to clarify the Queen of Pentacles. She's beautiful. So these three cards right here to clarify the Queen of Pentacles for you, Scorpios. The Six of Wands, Ten of Cups, and the Ten of Swords for you speaks about how this is a year about getting over that great obstacle. The year of getting over something that it's not going to feel the most comfortable, because you Scorpios kind of already feel like an outcast anyway, but now it's the embracing of the fact that you're not like a lot of people. You're not built to constantly be out there and interacting with people and be this freaking socialite that's all up in everybody's business, and that aggravates you. And you Scorpios will learn why it's not good for you, because for you, you don't like it when a person can't keep up. You tell them something that's not some sort of heavy intellectual lifting, they still don't get it. Dunces, slow, short yellow bus ones, right? You tell them 2 + 2 = 4. Okay, cool, I got it. Then 6 months later, what's 2 + 2 equal again? What's 2 + 2 equaling again? I don't know. You're gonna learn that. You're gonna learn. Oh no. Oh no. You're gonna learn why. You're gonna learn that your life is great, but you keep incorporating stupid individuals in your lives. That's the situation. And then the Knight of Cups here and the Five of Cups represents you're gonna feel sorry that you ever did that. You should have just stayed by yourself if you only knew what you knew. That's it. We all learn. I learn. You Scorpios will learn. But the end of the year will still be good for you, Scorpios. Y'all are going to love it. Comment on the video, like the video, subscribe to the YouTube channel, share the video. Trying to get the YouTube channel to 100K. We at 29,030 subscribers. Smash the subscribe button, like button, hit the notification bell, set that notification bell to all so you can be notified whenever it is that I drop my videos. Peace, Scorpio.